We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Don. Don will be moving into a new house that is currently under construction. He will have a media room on the top floor that will be 18 feet 2 inches long, 15 and a half feet wide, and 10 feet high, which is roughly around 2,800 cubic feet. There's a door on the back wall. In the rear right corner, and a window in the rear left corner that he will cover using blackout drapes. So this is a sealed room with light control.
Nice.
He wants to continue using his 65-inch Panasonic Plasma. He already owns 5.2 speaker system with the PSB Stratus Gold Towers, PSB Center, PSB Dipole Bipole surrounds, and dual SVS SB2000 subs, all powered by Marantz SR7010 AV receiver. Groovy. He'll have acoustic treatments plus carpet on the floor. He wants to pre-wire the room for during construction, but he will have the attic space above for future access if it's ever needed. He has 2 recliners that are his primary seats. He also has a sofa that will go in the room, but doesn't really care where that gets placed. All right. Well, so let's staple it to the ceiling then. All right. He I mean, he didn't care. Nice. Wouldn't that be awesome? You walk in. Is that the couch on your ceiling? Yeah, man. Guest seating right up there. Got seatbelts. 5-point harness. All right. He wants to set up his theater for Atmos. So first things first, where should he put his 2 primary seats? The recliners. Third of the way into the room from the back wall.
For a 65-inch screen, though?
Well, that's where you should put them for the best sound and stuff like that.
Now, a third from the front wall. Huh?
You could do a third from the front.
Of space
now,
behind you.
Wait. He said he wants to keep using this thing. He didn't say he didn't want to ever use anything else.
There is that.
Can we drop a screen down in front of it when you want to? Can we do it? Can we plan that you're going to wall mount that thing and it's going to be super small and far away from you and annoying until you get your projector set up, and then your wife will be like, "Why did we do this to begin with?" And we're like, "I know, honey, right? I'm brilliant." Yeah. So you would be a third of the way into the room. If you're going to have a 65-inch screen, maybe you're a third of the way in the room from the front wall with the screen mounted to the front wall. If you're going to have a projector set up someday and would like to plan for that, third of the way in the room from the back wall, and then have your projector screen on the drop down in front of your wall-mounted flat panel.
Yeah, it is a little bit tricky. Like I would probably divide your room into fifths.
Yeah.
Because it works out. So instead of dividing into thirds, I'd divide it into fifths. And then if you're going to be continuing to use the 65-inch screen the way that he's sort of shown it in his diagram with that, basically wall mounted,
right.
Then I would sit 2/5 from the front of the room away from that TV, which is what, about 7.5 feet?
I guess. I don't know. I need to do the math.
Roughly. Yeah. Or if you are thinking, okay, maybe I will end up with a projection screen at some point, then you could sit 3/5 from the front, 2/5 from the back. Because acoustically that'll work out nicely, and screen size wise it'll work out nicely too. So I will leave it to you, because if the plan is to just the 65-inch TV, that's it, never gonna add a projection screen, then I would sit 2/5 from the screen, 2/5 of the length of the room.
You can put the sofa behind you on a riser or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That lets you put the sofa behind you as a second row. It could be 6 feet behind you. You'd still have 3.5, 4 feet of walkway behind that. So you enter into the room. You got 3 to 4 feet. You got the couch. You got 6 feet in front of the couch. You got your chairs, and then that leaves you 7.5 feet from the front wall, roughly.
Right.
That'll work out for a 65-inch screen.
That's fine.
Or you can put the sofa on the back wall, move your recliners back to the 3/5 position, and put in a projector screen. That couch shouldn't be on that side wall the way you have it. I don't think. I think that'll look weird. Yeah, he's just like, that was temporary placement.
Yeah. I would throw that on the back wall behind you someplace.
Yeah,
behind you. Yeah. So where should he position his dipole surround speakers, and should he purchase and add surround back speakers? If so, where should these go? And specifically, how high should the surround and surround back speakers be mounted? All right. So as we said with the last question or two ago, I don't remember, surround speakers should be a little bit behind you and a little bit up. I know that Dolby now says they're supposed to be ear height, but I think that's not. I, do, I don't like it.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
say that.
this does all depend on nailing down your seating position first.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully we've given you basically two choices, and it depends on what your plans are for the screen. So that should be easy enough for you to decide. And then
Right.
once you know that, yeah, your surround speakers go straight to your sides, and then maybe about a foot back from that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, where your seats are, just a tiny bit behind, and how high they should be. What you want is for the tweeter of the surround speaker to have a clear line of sight to every listener. Which
Right.
normally means if you have, like, you're going to have these two recliners side by side. So let's say you're sitting in the left recliner and you're looking at the left side surround speaker. You want the tweeter of that left side surround speaker to be able to clear your head and reach the person sitting to your right. You don't want you directly blocking the tweeter from the person sitting to your right. It doesn't
Right.
have to be very high to do that normally.
Yeah, a couple.
You know,
feet, maybe.
4.5 feet, the tweeter 4.5 feet off the ground. That usually works out.
Then surround back speakers. Now,
I think you should in this case, because we're
I
telling
think
you to
so,
have
too.
your primary seats a good way, either 3/5 or 2/5 into this room. Either way, you've got lots of space behind you. I think surround backs would be a good idea here.
right, and I agree with that. Again, they're going to be the same sort of thing. You want them to be able to clear everything. So if your couch, your back couch is raised up, and people are sitting there, they got to be able to clear. Those speakers got to be able to clear their heads
Yep.
to hit the people in the front row, which will be
That's right.
you. If they're on the back wall, I mean, if the couch is on the back wall, well, then it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, so that might be the tweeters 5.5, 6 feet off the ground. They could be
Right.
a little bit higher if that
Right.
if that back row is sitting a bit higher.
Yeah. So when I guess we're okay. We're
Yeah, I mean, where exactly should they go on the back wall? I mean, they should
We're gonna
be
talk about
about
that next.
the same width apart from each other as your front speakers are. That's
Well, they
that's
should
where your
be,
surround-
according to Dolby, they should be exactly, and that's what it comes up
Exactly.
to now. He gets a bit confused when we talk about Atmos ceiling speaker locations. Can we clearly describe where they should go? All right, so before we get started with all this, the way that Dolby now says that you should set all these speakers up is it's actually very easy. So you've got your front, left, and right speakers. Okay,
Yep.
Your front, left, right speakers are going to be wider than your screen usually, unless you have some sort of massive screen and you've got your speakers behind them and it's acoustically transparent and all that. You do not have such a setup. So your speakers are going to be at some width. Depending on how far back you're sitting, that width may change. It's so that you are, some sort of triangle. You don't want them inside of your couch. You want them to be far enough apart where you get some good stereo separation. Right? Then, every other speaker that is an Atmos speaker or a speaker that is behind you should be in a line from them, from the main speakers. So any speaker that's on the ceiling, you should be able to draw a line from your main speaker, and it should make like an arc around you. Basically, it goes over you. So like the speaker, not where it's facing. So if you toe it in towards you, that won't count. You want where it is in the room. If it's 3 feet off the side wall, then the speaker that's overhead should be 3 feet off the side wall. The surround back speaker should be 3 feet off the side wall. That's where it should be placed.
Now,
so they're all
because
in
of
a line.
Because of a ceiling joist, because
Right.
of a window, because of a door, if because of one of those things you have to move it a little bit, closer together to each other or a little bit farther apart, that's fine.
It's fine.
Don't drive yourself insane about that.
No.
But if you're starting with the idea, how far apart are my front, left, and right speakers from each other? The overhead speakers, the surround back speakers are that same distance apart. That's your starting point. If you have to adjust it a little from there, that's fine. But that's the starting idea.
Yeah. So that's what.
And then as far as how far in front of you, how far behind you,
It's about angles.
it's all about angles at that point. Now,
He's got a
Dolby's
10-foot
recommending
ceiling, so it's going to be a little bit different for him than it is for most people.
Yeah, Dolby's recommending 45 degrees. 45 degrees elevation in front of you, 45 degrees elevation behind you. Call that top, front, top, rear. That's their number one recommendation, which since you have a 10-foot ceiling, that would actually put you more like 7 feet in front of you, 7 feet behind you, which is a little bit far maybe. Now, 7 feet behind you might actually be really nice because then it would probably be behind your second row of seats as well.
Right.
So you call them top rears, it's going to sound correct for your back seats, it's going to sound correct for your primary seats up front, but essentially 5 to 7 feet in front of you. So go make a line straight from the top of your head straight up to the ceiling. Go 5 to 7 feet in front of you. That's your top fronts. Go 5 to 7 feet behind you. That's your top rears. And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Right. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry. I just saw your note here about the fact that it's 10 foot. I actually remember that all by myself. Thank you, Rob. Look at me being smart. He's planning to put his 2 subwoofers in diagonally opposite corners. Will his dual SVS SB2000s still be a good choice for this room size? SB2000, what is it, 2,800 square feet?
2,800 cubic feet?
Cubic feet, sorry.
SB2000s?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Good choice.
Good, that'll be just fine.
That's a medium-sized room.
You are golden.
Yep.
So, and they'll look nice. Though, I mean, you could put them on sidewalls too. You've got the space, right? I mean, where's this diagonally opposite corners though? Is what I'm worried about.
Well, it can't be in front of the door, so I'm assuming it's the rear left.
By the window, I guess.
Rear
by the
left
window?
below the window, front right. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm scrolling. It's it for him. All right. Good. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.